Hi, we are from Group DSG and we are gonna explain about the video presentation for today. My name is Darshan. This is
I'm Rhishi.
Prevan and this is Umar. We are using the circuit for the automatic plants watering system. We're using servo motor as a valve of our system, LCD screen to print the display, and we're using the button for the manual, and we use DHT22 as a humidity sensor and temperature sensor, buzzer and LED as an indicator, and we use for resistant to control the current flow, and Arduino as our brain of our system. First, first we use DST2 and we connect the power supply to the 3.3 voltage and connect with the ground and connect with pin number 4, and LCD we connect with two power supply and ground and to the pin number A4 and A5. So motor we connect for the pin number 3 and ground and voltage. LED and buzzer we connect as ground, pin number 8, pin number 7.
So the flow of uh, the the process is like this. So the DHC22 receives the temperature and humidity input, and the input goes to Arduino Uno. The Arduino Uno then senses if the temperature is too high and the humidity is too low. It then sends the input to the servo motor where the valve opens, and when the valve opens, the lights light up and the buzzers will also make a sound. So when this happens, then we know that the valve is open and the whole system is working. If the temperature and humidity is not high enough or not low enough, the the system will still print out the details on the LCD display. It'll display exactly what the temperature and the humidity of the surroundings are.
Okay, so we're continuing with the code. So from line 1 until 5, we have a library. So all this library contain all the function that we need to code the sensor and the output. So we have the HTH, liquid crystal, wire, and servo. So this is really important when we code because some of the code that we need don't have in the built-in apps. So we need to include all the library. So first of all, we need to identify the liquid crystal. So we are using liquid crystal that contain 20 column and 4 rows. And then we define the DHT. So DHT, we put it at the pin number 4, and we define it as the DHT22. So this DHT22 type DHT type 22. So we initialize the DHT using DHT pin, DHT type. So that code we initialize the DHT sensor, and then we define the port for the pin. So button we put at the port number 2, LED port number 7, buzzer 8, servo pin 3, and then we initialize the servo. So and then as doctor say, we need to put structure pointer in the code. So we are using struct to hold the humidity and temperature value. So the struct name we are using sensor data. It have humidity and temperature. So after that, we are using array. So this array is for the button state. So when you push the button, it will become high, and when you not push, we can become low. So for the initial value, so we put uh, both array. We use put as a low, and then we are using pointer, which is current button state, as the value of button state 0. So array index number 0, and then last button state, we are point to the array of the button state 1. So and then we are using a boolean function to state that pump state. So when we push the button, so this the pump will be on, so it will be true. So void setup, so we'll set up all the function. So first, serial begin as for the Arduino to display the program, and then pin mode button pin. So we are set the button as the input. So we are identified as input. Then then we'll begin the DHT, the sensor will begin, and then we initialize the LCD, and then the backlight of the LCD will start to light up. And then we define the LED as the output and buzzer as the output, and servo we define it as the we not define it, we initialize it.
Okay, now we have two functions. So the first function being read sensor data, where it takes the input of sensor data and it also uses the data pointer. So here we take the input from the DHT as this using the DHT read humidity, and we also take the DHT. They also take temperature of surroundings using DHT read temperature, and both of these are saved automatically to data. And then in the next function, we have a white function called update pump state. So update pump state, we have uh, two inputs, which are one is a boolean input, which is a pointer to pump state, and an integer input, which is button state. So in this function, we use an if else loop where if the button state is not equals to the last button state, then inside that if it is not equals to, then we use if button state is high, then the pump state's pointer is not equals to the pump state here. So then we use a delay 50 here to so that it doesn't recur many times. And then we use a last button state pointer here to set the initial button state as the last button state. Yeah.
So okay, moving on to the next function, void loop. So this is a loop, and this we repeat in a continuous loop once the function is called. Okay, so in this function, the first line itself is read sensor data. Okay, then this is actually it's a function call and calls the read sensor data function. The parameter there is the sensor data, and to basically it's just to update the sensor data start with the latest humidity and temperature reading. Okay, so we can go back to the function that Rhishi explained earlier, the read sensor data function. Okay, so yeah, it's like Rhishi explained just now. We got data is saved in the humidity is saved in data and the temperature is saved in data, and the purpose is just to store the sensor readings in the data struct, but which is actually the sensor data. So the parameter, it's when it's called, it is in the parameter of sensor data. So going back to the loop function. Okay, so now the next line is current button state. It reads the digital read button pin. This is to list because to read the state of the pin connect to the button. Because the current button state is stored in current button state. And the purpose is capture the current state of the button, whether it's pressed high or low. After that, it's to update pump state. We have pump state and also current button state. These two parameters. Okay, and then we can go back to the second function Rhishi explained just now. Void update pump state. Okay, so we're just calling the function at this point. Okay, after that, can go back to the loop function. Okay, after calling the both of the function, we're basically just printing to serial monitor. The humidity prints the current humidity reading. The temperature prints the current temperature reading. The pump status prepares the print the pump status on or off. The purpose is to provide real-time sensor data and pump status from debugging and monitoring via the serial monitor. So, below that is to update the LCD display. Here it's basically just controlling the cursor. Okay, we can look at the first line, line 83, set cursor 00. So it just moves the cursor to the start of the first row. The start of the first row. So it prints temperature to clear any previous value. And then it prints the temperature value with one decimal place followed by C. And why is this important? Is just to update the first row of the LCD with the latest temperature reading. So every time just getting the latest reading for the temperature. And we do this for the humidity as well. So after this, we just done for temperature. So now we're going to carry on to the humidity. So now we set this cursor same. You can see this set cursor 0, 1. So now we're going to set the cursor to the start of the second row. First row was for temperature, second is for humidity. And almost same, prints humidity, and then it prints the humidity value, and then followed by percentage, because humidity is usually in percentage, temperature in Celsius. That's why in this case it's in degree. Sorry, in this case, in humidity case, it's in percentage. After that, we already done for temperature, humidity. Now we're going to do for printing pump state. So now it's setting the cursor obviously to 0, 3. So it's basically just to move the cursors to the start of the fourth row. So it clears the previous status and then prints pump status. So set the cursor to the correct position. So it prints whether it's on or off. And at this point, just prepares the fourth row of the LCD to display the current pump status. Okay, moving down. Okay, after that, we can see the if else function. So there's a condition for the if. So there's three conditions actually. So we have to see whether the temperature is 30 degrees Celsius or higher. Second condition is humidity is 80% or higher. And third is pump is manually toggled on pump state is true. Okay, so that means it is on. If this follows the condition that if this follows this condition, that means the pump is on now. So if it prints on, then the serial monitor prints on, the LED turns the LED on, so it's high. Servo motor moves the servo to 180 degree, because once it moves 180 degree, it will open the valve for the water to flow. After that, we have also set delay there. We have set it to 100 millisecond. Okay. So in the else function, it is in off mode. If it's off, it prints off, and then the LED is in low, so it's off. And then servo write 0. Now it delays, servo write 0, so it moves the server to 0 degrees. And then we have delay, pause the program for 500 milliseconds. And then why this is important is to stabilize the loop, preventing it like running too fast, and it may it may cause it to crash. So to make it slow, we can just set it to 500 millisecond. So so that's all with the last loop. Okay, so that's all for the loop function, and I believe we have Umar and Rhishi explained all the function and the purpose of each statement in this programming. And thank you very much. That's all from us.